It's that time of the year, WrestleMania season, a season of excitement and optimism. However, this week has been marred in controversy. Vince McMahon's been accused of a bunch of things, and along with the company, sued by a woman over some allegedly horrific stuff. This is a big stain on the company, the likes we haven't seen since 2007. It's no dramatic, this is actually a big deal, one of the most controversial things I've ever seen in wrestling history. I'm mentioning this because it would be weird not to. Vince stepping down over this is huge. He's completely gone, and this was in midst of a very successful week with WWE signing a deal with Netflix and The Rock assuming a high position in TKO. It's a very deep topic that at its worst could lead to the removal of several people in the company inside the ring and outside the ring. With that said, there was a high level of excitement for this Royal Rumble. WWE had done a great job of building up the show and providing intrigue and interest to the men and women's Royal Rumble matches. And already, right when the show began, Pat McAfee made his return. Okay, let's get into it. Royal Rumble 2024, the road to WrestleMania begins. Let's get into it. Okay, the first match in the show was the Women's Royal Rumble match. Now, I'm gonna say, it's a Royal Rumble match. I was gonna like a part of it the moment it began. Why? Because I'm a Battle Royal shill, and WWE made sure to get your attention, having Naomi return after nearly 2 years. There was some surprises with Jordynne Grace from TNA, the Knockouts champion, coming into the Rumble. It felt a bit weird to see her there, especially because Michael Cole is on commentary. WWE logos are all over the place, and her dropping the likes of Bayley. It's like, what the hell? Other than that, the Women's Rumble was pretty dry. It wasn't bad. I'm gonna get into it in a moment. Very generic basic action going down. There was a nice Kairi Sane spot with her turning into Spider-Man. Chelsea Green lasted longer than the previous year. Bianca hit a crazy KOD on Jordynne Grace to eliminate her. Zelina Vega had me believing Eddie came back for a moment. Nia Jax was throwing people around without technique. Like when she'd eliminate someone, it was uncoordinated. R-Truth thought he was in the Rumble and basically cost Valhalla the match. There was some NXT entrants and surprisingly no women's legends. I think it's WWE trying to show off their current talent. Jade Cargill finally debuted and looked like the megastar, a mega talent the likes the industry hasn't seen. She looked extremely strong out there and had an amazing showing. She ragdolled Nia and threw her out, and it was a big ass moment, one of the biggest moments on the entire show. Tiffany Stratton was Jeff Hardy for a moment, and Liv Morgan was the 30th entrant. The ending was great, with Morgan dropping Cargill, leading to Bayley capitalizing and winning the match. Bayley was the Royal Rumble winner. It wasn't shocking, nor should it be, but I thought she was very deserving. It would have been insane if Jade Cargill won, I'm gonna say right now. Like, if she came in, won that whole thing, that crowd in Tampa would have gone insane. But with Bayley, the other three women in the Four Horsewomen had their standout moments, especially at WrestleMania. She doesn't really have that, and since 2020, Bayley has been putting over talent almost to her own detriment. She's been in the background with the Damage Control story recently. They're trying to build it up as the group trying to isolate her away. And I personally like this because a face Bayley has great potential. Like, I don't expect her hugger character to come back, the ponytail tied up, none of that. I don't expect that. I just expect a new version of Bayley. You know, something we haven't seen before. Other than that, Naomi and Jade looked great out there. They established a lot of feuds for WrestleMania, potentially with Bianca and Jade being one. And when you hear all of this, you think it's an amazing match, but it wasn't. There was a lot of moments that were dull, insignificant, and very basic, and it's not really going to stand out, but I think it was a bit better than the Men's Royal Rumble match. Bayley winning was the right decision. I'm very interested in seeing how the Damage Control story goes. Very interested in seeing Jade Cargill potentially feuding with Bianca Belair. Decent stuff. The next match is a fatal four-way match for the Undisputed Universal Championship. Roman Reigns defends the title against Randy Orton, LA Knight, and AJ Styles. A match that had some hype behind it, especially because Roman hasn't had a multi-man match in a while. AJ Styles gets bigger every time I see him. Randy Orton has a lot of hype behind him, and they're taking things slow with LA Knight. This match is a bit disappointing. It didn't have that heat about it, which I thought was unfortunate. Roman hasn't been doing much. I heard him say filet mignon once, but with the time away, you'd expect some big quality from him, and looking at the match, I don't remember much with him. The other three, though, got things going, and the match picked up. It took a while, but when it did, there was some nice spots. Randy was hitting RKOs and had the match won when Solo Sikoa came out. Same old interference. They don't care. Roman takes advantage, doesn't stack the wrestlers, but managed to win in the end. AJ took the pin, which wasn't surprising. The other two had more things going on for them, but with regards to the match, it was very dull in the first half. It picked up, but I can assure you that if this exact match happened in 2021, it would have been way better with Roman putting in more work. And yeah, I thought it was disappointing. The title reign has nowhere to go after WrestleMania. Solo interfering is the same old story, and I thought it was a disappointing match. Randy Orton was electric. LA Knight had the crowd on his side, and you could see potential world champions in the future. Orton is probably winning that 15th title sooner rather than later, and LA Knight's push is only getting started. They protected him here, he didn't take the loss, had some great moments, and as I said, Randy Orton and LA Knight were the two standouts in this match. They just were. Alright, the next match was for the United States Championship. Logan Paul defended the gold against Kevin Owens. I'm not gonna lie, I sometimes forget Logan Paul is the US Champion. I do see him around with it, whether it's with John Cena or Ruby Rose, but he hasn't been around much. With that said, this match should have been better. WWE's clearly saw how Logan Paul's been doing and probably told him to take it slow because he's out here doing limb work and having a different style of wrestling. The allure of Logan Paul involves him being that arrogant supervillain all about the acrobatics and glamour. Like, I know some of you guys aren't a fan of the spotty wrestling, but I think it works very well with Logan Paul. He did bring some of that later on, but it was clear they limited that. I think this match is a case of WWE overthinking. If this was 2022 Logan Paul, this match would have been better. The ending with Kevin Owens taking Logan's brass knucks and dropping him was well done. The referee suddenly became intelligent. It caught me off guard. I thought KO was going to win the title and caught him, leading to a DQ finish. It was nice. Owens destroyed him after the match, and it's clear that this feud isn't over. I'm pretty sure they're facing off at Elimination Chamber. LA Knight is probably next up. It makes too much sense. It really looks like he's about to hold championship gold. What better way to win a title than beat Logan Paul at WrestleMania? Well, actually, that doesn't sound good. What better way to win a title than win it at WrestleMania? So we'll see. And the main event, the Men's Royal Rumble. This was the most interesting match on the show. CM Punk and Cody Rhodes in particular were seen as the favorites, but as for the match itself, this had some problems. Jay and Jimmy started things off, and already you could feel how much Jay has advanced when compared to Jimmy. Andrade finally returned to WWE. It was nice seeing him come out. He looks bigger and a bit different when compared to how he was a few years ago. Andrade is most likely a face, as evident by his interaction with Santos Escobar, although that's not a guarantee. We'll see how things go. Bobby Lashley came in and didn't do much. He's not the same booking-wise, especially because 2 years ago he was beating the likes of Brock Lesnar and holding the WWE Championship. You'd expect him to go very far. The Rumble felt like the mid-card Rumble for the most part until Cody Rhodes came out. Ron Breaker had a great showing, dropping everybody in sight. I'm assuming this was supposed to be Brock Lesnar's spot. It makes too much sense. Pat McAfee was probably going to eliminate himself after seeing Brock and Omos. R-Truth entered and ruined everything for JD McDonough. He thought it was a tag team match, and this spot was one of my favorites in the entire match. It was so cool seeing R-Truth thinking it's a tag team match, having Dom tag him in, and he's out there doing shoulder tackles like he's John Cena. It was cool. The ring starts filling up. More of the top talent is coming in, and Sami Zayn entered at number 30. Now, I knew Sami Zayn was going to enter at number 30. People out here, again, this is the problem with the Royal Rumble. People think it's always going to be shocking. They thought Kazuchika Okada had a chance of coming in at number 30, which is funny, but it was Sami Zayn. Drew and Sami interacted again, and for their sake, I hope that's not the WrestleMania match because we've seen a little bit too much of them recently over the last couple of months. I think it'd be a disservice to have them have the same match at WrestleMania, but I'm sure it's better than nothing. Jay got thrown out, Drew screwed up, Gunther was out, and there was two. CM Punk and Cody Rhodes. Punk and Cody's battle somewhat saved this match. I will say though that Punk seemed exhausted and worn out. He needs to get some of his stamina and endurance back. He was shouting he wasn't waiting 10 years to lose to Dusty's son and played the heel. There was a lot of tension between those two, and I'm very interested in seeing a feud between them. Cody managed to catch him off guard to win the match. Cody winning somewhat shocked me. It wasn't shocking like but I thought it was CM Punk's night. I really thought CM Punk was going to win here, but I'm assuming Rollins' injury changed plans. With Punk winning, he can't really interact with Rollins. They can't brawl, have those tag team matches or whatever. You know, you guys know how a WrestleMania build for a world title match is. He can't go straight to that immediately because of how things are right now with Seth Rollins. They can start the feud after Elimination Chamber, which also allows for Punk to get in better shape because this guy needs to wrestle some of the lower mid-card wrestlers to improve his stamina, endurance, his timing, everything like that. Because I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna be completely honest, I thought he was a little bit off during his match at the Rumble. As for Cody Rhodes, I would say it's a foregone conclusion, but last year happened, so there's that. We're in the same position as last year, except this time Cody Rhodes has gone through trials and tribulations to get back to WrestleMania in Philadelphia. He made no doubts about his status. He made no doubts about his choice. He immediately chose Roman Reigns after the match, which I thought was cool. You know, they're not trying to make us worry. Oh, maybe he's going to face Seth Rollins. Oh, what is he going to do? No, we're going for the rematch once again. Now, personally speaking, I don't mind rematches at WrestleMania. The thing is, the match has to be good. These two, they proved they were capable of having a special match last year. So I'm very interested in the story. And for Cody Rhodes' sake, he's got to finish it. You know, I'm not going to lie to you guys. We need to see a new champion. There came a point during Roman Reigns' run where I did not care who would beat him. But I think Cody Rhodes is the right guy. You know, WWE's going to push him hard. Fans are probably going to turn on him later because he's going to be the generic good guy or whatever. But in the time for the moment, I'm very interested in seeing him win that title. I want to see it happen. It makes so much sense for the story. And it's going to give a good end to the Bloodline story. The story has been going on and on. They have Solo interfering constantly. It's dragged on. You know, we gotta see something new. It will also allow for us to see the bloodline as a positive story entirely. It's one of the best stories WWE's ever done, and it would be a shame if they just extended it just for the sake of it. But yeah, Cody Rhodes is the Royal Rumble winner. The match itself wasn't that good, I'm not gonna lie to you. At times it was pretty boring. I was shocked Roman and Seth were watching the whole entire thing with us. They were probably bored out of their minds as well. But yeah, WWE has had a lot of great Royal Rumble matches recently. 2022 comes to mind. Last year was a bit off. There's just something lacking with the matches. The pacing, the fact that for half of the match, there was just mid-card wrestlers in there. I think they should have added some bigger stars in the beginning. But yeah, it was a decent match, you know. It's not a bad Rumble. It ain't 2022 Raw Rumble. Freaking Brock Lesnar winning at number 30. Shane McMahon, awkward moments or whatever. It wasn't that. It was a decent Rumble, but it could have been better. So yeah. Alright, that's the Raw Rumble. This event wasn't that good. I'm not going to lie to you. There was some moments here and there, but like every match could have been better. From the Women's Royal Rumble to the main event itself, all of them could have been better. You know, I had some expectations in the matches, which again, this is the problem with WWE. They give you these high expectations to the pay-per-views, and when it matters most, they disappoint. Match of the night is probably the Women's Royal Rumble. I think there was a lot of good moments in there. The Men's Rumble, the Punk and Cody encounter saved it a bit. I know Punk was a bit tired and exhausted, but I really liked his interaction with Cody Rhodes. But yeah, match of the night was Women's Royal Rumble. Bayley winning was nice. The booking decisions in general during this show were good, and I hope WrestleMania turns out to be a good one. So yeah, I want you guys to get the Royal Rumble. Please comment down below, and that's it for this video. Make sure you hit the pop-up power bomb on the like button and perhaps the crossroads and the subscribe button. Peace. I'm out.